Welcome to A1TV, the Mark Show, and tonight's guest, the final guest for Christmas. It's a Christmas special tonight, and I've got a very familiar face to the A1TV audience, Michael Gallus. Welcome to the Mark Show, or the Michael Gallus Show, whatever you want to call it, health and wealthy. And Michael, welcome.
Good to be back, Stoney, and great to see you. A big hello to all the viewers out there. Great to be back on A1TV.
Now, Mick, a few things have happened in 2021 for you and your family. And first of all, I'll talk about your new teaching gig at Gilston College. Tell me about how it's going there.
Fantastic. Yeah, northwestern suburbs of Melbourne. Very multicultural school, and been very blessed to gain an opportunity there to move from primary to secondary. So as you know, Stoney, and all the viewers who know me well, jump straight in. Maths teacher, English teacher, HBE teacher, sport teacher, Year 9 outdoor education support teacher, and just to top it all off, Year 7 coordinator with 103 students under my control and also 19 staff. So I don't do things by halves, as you all know, and it's been fantastic. I've loved the opportunity to go into secondary. On top of that, started an AFL program. We got the Gilson Cats up, the very first AFL football team for the school, and we're very close to getting an AFL girls team up and running, and we hope to do that next year, as well as became the first baseball coach for the school as well. So you've got to have a crack at life, don't you, Stoney? And you've got to get involved in everything. And I've been very blessed out there to have great support from the heads of sections in Jenny Kaver and Len Farquharson and Principal Mark Vidal to give me opportunities to really inspire and challenge and give kids as many opportunities as they can.
Very diverse, Michael. You've gone from football to, what was the other sport you were doing?
Baseball.
Baseball,
Great game.
So have you had much take up from both those sports in the school?
Oh yeah, they love it. They love the opportunity to play and engage, and any sport that gets kids active. We were very blessed. This happened at the start of the year before the lockdowns happened, so we got training sessions in, and we gave them the opportunity to play in the SSV competitions out in the Northwest. We drew the football team first ever game. We had year 9s and 10s playing, and we drew. We're in front the whole game. We kicked appallingly, and as you know, bad kickers, bad football. We let our opposition back into the game in the last quarter. We went to extra time. They played extra time, and they got over the line by a point, but it was just fantastic to see all the kids out there having a run around and gaining an opportunity to play AFL. The teamwork, the resilience, the courage, and anything with sports, just great fun, isn't it?
Great for the girls too. It's an amazing thing. Now, talking of women's sport, Michael, it's a bit of revelation or a bit of announcement on A1TV, the Mark and Michael Show. We want to call it that. It's not a bad thing. We might bring it up next year. New Zealand women's team, Michael. Tell me about that.
Yeah, so I'm still national coach of AFL Pakistan women's team and assistant coach of the men's, and also heavily involved with the development across there at AFL Pakistan, which we'll talk a bit later. But gaining an opportunity, there's a competition held in Melbourne every year called the NFC, All Nations Football Cup, and it involves international teams. And I tried to get a Pakistan men's or women's team up and running here, and just didn't get the numbers, unfortunately, and went to a meeting and was approached by AFL New Zealand, Team Melbourne, New Zealand here in Melbourne, to coach their women's team, the first one ever. So, being born in Fiji and obviously having a lot of experience with AFL Pakistan women, and what an amazing team of young ladies that they are, and their resilience and courage they showed coming to Australia to play our great game. I knew I'd have the same experience with the New Zealand heritage women that are in Melbourne, Australia, and thanks to Mana and also Eric Tom, the president there in Team Melbourne, New Zealand, that gained an opportunity, to be their national coach. So we've got 4 training sessions across January, and then we play early February in a competition. Team Australia's in it, Team World's in it, Team Fiji, and also Team Ireland. Now, Team Ireland won it last year in the women's comp, but no surprise. And for this competition, you either can be born in that country of heritage, or your parents or your grandparents. So, it's going to be a very strong competition. I can't wait to get the New Zealand girls together and have a crack at it.
Now, in Melbourne, will they play that at Parkville in Melbourne, Mick, is that where they're going to play? Where do they play that?
We're training at Victoria Park. The competitions, they're looking to try and get Essendon. The hangar's been very supportive, and we're looking, NFC organisers still haven't got it totally confirmed, but looking to be in a central place in Melbourne, and just a great opportunity to represent your country, really, of heritage, and also, play footy, isn't it? So any opportunity you can do that is a great opportunity.
Now, this show goes right around the world, especially in Pakistan. Now, the AFL, the national championship, the Pakistani national championships, Michael, are coming up. Tell us a bit about that, Michael.
Oh, they certainly are. AFL Pakistan is just extraordinary, the work that they've done, thanks to Chaudhry Ali and also President Sardar Tariq, and also amazing commitment from towns across the whole of Pakistan. So they've got together for their national championship coming up in early January, and they've got 12 teams. I'll go through them for you, Stoney. The Islamabad Tigers, the Parachichina Giants, the Rovers FC, the Janoon Bombers, the Pakistan Youngsters, the Belchuk Hawks, the Hussein Saints, the Gujranwala Suns, and the Multan Eagles, and one of my favourites, and I met them when I was over there in 2019, the Sidhu Dolphins. So like the Frankston Dolphins, we've got the Sidhu Dolphins out there in Pakistan ready to go. And really, the game has grown so much since I visited in 2019, and aiming, we can't really plan much with COVID and everything these days, but aiming to get back there in December, well, basically this time next year, for a 10 to 15 day tour to run clinics to identify the top 60 male and female AFL players, and then aiming to go back mid-year in 2023 and whittle that down to a team of 30 male and female, and that's who we'll bring out for the International Cup, the AFL planning to run in 2023.
Why do you think, Mick, that's an amazing amount of teams playing AFL in Pakistan? Why is the uptake been so big, and the interest with females in the game of AFL, Australian rules?
Yeah, they just love it. Like, I've never seen a passion for we all love AFL here in Australia, but they just absolutely love it, males and females. And they just like the opportunity to play sport, really, and to play in an organised competition without any corruption, without any, there's no reason that you cannot play. They're accepting anyone of any level, and they really love the actual physicality, especially the women, of the game in being able to tackle and bump and hit hard. And that's what I saw when I was coaching one of the first junior girls teams here when it kicked off in Australia, in Melbourne. And that was exactly the same. They love the opportunity to be physical and really have a fitting and crack, tackle, bump, and give it their all, which you can't do in any other sport, can you?
I think it's amazing to think that a game, because what's their hockey, what's their big game over there? Cricket.
Cricket and hockey. T20, I think they're number one in the world at T20 in Pakistan at the moment. And really excitingly, Australia's looking to tour there, I'm pretty sure, next year.
Yeah,
New Zealand's going back there. West Indies are there at the moment. So the safety and security of the country is good now. And it won't be too long where tourists will be allowed to be back into those countries, obviously with COVID and everything else, in the ability to travel across the world. Mate, I can't wait to get back there. It's one of the most extraordinary places that, the world's such a small place, but I can tell you there's that many Westerners that has not been in there and do not understand the amazing food, the amazing music, culture, friendliness of the people. And up north, where I didn't get to go in Hunza and Gilgit, that's the base of the Himalayas. I mean, how extraordinary is that going to be? We're going to play some footy clinics up there, Stoney.
Make sure you take plenty of vision, Michael. Now, you've got your Footies for All hat, and you've still got your charity hat on. And just recently, I looked at a little note that I saw when you actually visited the Leongatha Football Club, James Sutherland. Tell me about your trip to the Leongatha and how that went.
Yeah, we just got back from 10 days down in Gippsland, pretty much of a well-being tour. Dan Eddy, the man that writes footy books, the greatest football writer. He lives in Leongatha, done a power of work with the Essendon Football Club at the moment, and also, or he's about to release a book on Peter Hudson. You'll love that one, Stoney. And did some amazing work with Peter Crimmins in the Hawthorn Football Club as well, and a great supporter of Footies for All. Bobby Lee Blay, one of the most amazing Gippsland females in football, and she won AFL Victorian Volunteer of the Year, so caught up with her, and she's an ambassador with Footies for All as well. Does a lot of great work through the Gippsland clubs. James Sutherland, mate, he's been everywhere in country footy, and he'd organised the Foster Footy Club and also the Newborough Footy Club to donate some boots. And I've donated them today to a mate of mine who's a pastor at Footscray Church of Christ there, Jared Davies, and he's going to give them out with some Footies for All footies from Ross Faulkner on Christmas Day for to kids in that area, some footy boots and some footies, and got some footy socks there as well. And you can't get better Christmas present than a new football, Stoney. I don't care who you are or where you are. If you get a new football for Christmas, you know, Christmas has all come at once. So, yeah, amazing support, Stoney. We're coming up to 10 years. We've donated over 27,000 new balls around Australia, across the world. Not 1 cent of government funding, federal or state. You know, to be honest, I've given up. I was promised every state. You know, I've met up to the Premier of Victoria. I've met 2 Prime Ministers, and was promised we'd get support from them all, and they delivered nothing. And no one that knows politicians would be surprised. And really, I'm pretty optimistic and positive person, and it just disappoints me that they're there to represent the people. We know this program works. We know the power of sport. We've done it all over Australia, and now we're across into Pakistan, Fiji, New Zealand, Africa. We know it works, and yet they're too busy worrying about themselves and wasting, I think it's up to 200 billion on CityLink and Centrelink and all those link sort of road projects or everything else, that they've forgotten who they are, that is to represent the people and support the people that need it most. And if you can do that through the power of sport, you're going to change lives, that we've been lucky enough to do through amazing volunteers that see the value, and they don't have much money. Everyone's doing it tough, and yet we still get donations. I had St. Teresa's Essendon Netball Club drop off some netball uniforms that we're going to put across to Fiji. We had Jimmy Sullivan drop off those footy boots, and everyone just contacts me through Facebook or Instagram and asks me, I had some clothes dropped off, and we're going to send them across to Fiji as well. You know, it's just extraordinary, the support that I've got in running this across Australia and around the world, and that's why we do it. We do it because it makes a difference, and one drop off of a football or a pair of footy shorts or a pair of footy boots that we, are so blessed and grateful to have, to give that into the hands of someone that can't afford it or doesn't have that opportunity. And we do a lot of work across Aboriginal communities. Brian Curl up there in Brisbane, the former Bullets superstar and Australian coach and also representative player, does amazing work across Brisbane with Aboriginal kids in basketball. We sent a lot of stuff up to him. And in Melbourne, Ricky Baldwin, what an amazing man he is. Another Aboriginal man that's gone out of his way to create a foundation and does a lot of work with basketball through lots of different avenues here in Victoria and in Melbourne. And those great people, through great support to Footies for All, we're able to support their programs and kids. And again, not 1 cent. Every single person involved is a volunteer. It's people think, oh, you must be making a fortune. It's cost me a fortune, and my wife and family, in money and time, and we're happy to do that. We've made that commitment and do that for other people. And people think because you've been around for nearly 10 years and so successful that you're making heaps of money. We don't make any money. We lose thousands of dollars every year, and happy to do so. And it's just disappointing that the governments that are sat there and put there and voted in and paid for by us with our taxpayer money cannot see the value of our program to get involved, because they didn't think of it, or politically, why would we help those that can't help themselves? It's just disappointing, Stoney, but that's life. And we don't worry about politicians. We're lucky to have such amazing support from amazing people all across the world, and that's what it's all about.
I think you're right. I think you sort of spot on there, that sport connects everybody around the world. Whether it doesn't matter what sport you play, that those who participate in voluntary sport community, volunteers, and you wake up every day, Michael Gallus, and you wake up and you think you're a happy man, that you're grateful for what you got, and you actually do contribute to society and community, and you get out what you put in, and as long as you can be happy with that, then you forget about the politics, the whole thing, because too much politics in life these days, and we all know that, but that's another story for another day. But I want to talk about you, because this year hasn't been a really good year. It's been a tough year for you, Michael Gallus, and your family. That anybody that thinks that COVID is not real, Michael Gallus, you actually contracted COVID, and the whole family. How did that happen, by the way?
Yeah, my young son was working at the local fish and chip shop, and picked it up through obviously a lot of traffic, people coming through. And he came home Monday night, and then he worked a shift Monday night. And then Tuesday morning, this was the end of term 3 for those of you who got kids at school. So what's that, late August? And he woke up Tuesday morning. Never seen him so sick. So as soon as we looked at him, pretty much knew that he had COVID, took him down to get tested. Takes 36 hours for the test that came back. And in that time, extremely unwell. He tested positive, so we obviously went and got tested as well. And eventually myself, my wife, my son Thomas, daughter Lily, and also Benjamin, all within a week contracted COVID-19. It's not a joke, as you said, Stoney. It's not made up, and it's certainly not the flu either, I can tell you. This is all at the same time. I've never experienced anything like it. I've experienced some of these symptoms some of the time, but not all at the same time. You got blinding headaches, you got blinding earaches, you had a runny nose, a sore throat, a cough, conjunctivitis-like symptoms. Your eyes are always itchy. I was lucky. I only had it for about 3 days. You couldn't sleep. You obviously had no appetite. Very lethargic. You also had aches in all your joints were aching. You also lost your sense of taste and smell. I still only got about 10% of my sense of smell back. And also at times you found it difficult to breathe. Now, the reason we didn't get to hospital was because we were double vaxxed. The kids were all one vax, and that's thanks to my beautiful wife, Amanda, for really making sure that had happened. And we were vaxxed very early as well. As soon as the kids were available, and myself and Amanda were double vaxxed. And that double vax meant that we didn't go to hospital. Everyone goes, oh, you're double vaxxed, you shouldn't have got it. No, the science says that the vaccine saved us from going to hospital. One of my mates, he had one vaccine, and same age as me with kids. Within a week, he was in hospital on a ventilator and fighting for his life. So it is extremely severe. It's extremely debilitating if you do get it, depending on your immune system. Now, my daughter's 19. She's the fittest and healthiest out of all of us. And she got minor headaches for a couple of hours, where it was 3 days for me. It was 7 to 10 days for my wife, Amanda, that was feeling all those symptoms I've just been through. My older son, it was 3 days. My youngest son, Benjamin, was about 5 to 6 days. He's got a low immune system, so we were extremely worried for him, and he was very close to going to hospital because he was unable to breathe properly. And we're just blessed in Australia that we've got that ability to be given the vaccines for free, and that they do work. And then if you do need to go to hospital, we've got amazing doctors and nurses in our health system looking after people, regardless if they're vaxxed or unvaxxed. Isn't that right, Stoney? Which is amazing that every patient gets treated the same here in Australia, and that's great credit to our doctors and nurses.
Now, I've seen some photos, Michael, that you talk about community and community help. I believe that the community of your area where you live were very much hands on deck, helping out with food, Michael. I thought that was amazing.
No, I was extremely blessed, Stoney, and you know yourself. And in a community, if you put back into that community, when you need the support and help, they'll give back to you tenfold. And we were very humble from the support that we got from friends and family, and dropping off food and just texting and ringing and checking that everyone's okay. And when we first got to rang the doctor, he said, "What can we do?" And they said, "Nothing. You can't do anything. You've just got to get through it. Panadol and Nurofen will help with your headaches, and just keep yourselves hydrated, eat healthy, and basically good luck. And then obviously the vaccinations keep you healthy. And we're just very blessed, my family, to have amazing support around us. And big shout out and thank you to everyone that supported each other, and everyone's doing it too, Stoney. There's a lot more cases coming out now, and I know that a lot more people are obviously isolating and getting that support, and that's what we've got to do. We've got to look out for each other, especially during these times. Stay positive, stay calm, really, stay calm. If you're double vaxxed, 99% of us are going to be okay with that. Yes, you're going to be sick for, anything. It depends. Each person's different depending on their immune system, but you've got the help with the doctors and the nurses and the hospital system here in Australia, and we're blessed to have that as well.
Now, your golf game, Michael. I want to know, because I seen a little photo yesterday. How's your golf game going, Michael?
Yeah, well, didn't improve over the last 10 days, that's for sure. I took a good lead. I was 2-0 up against my son Benjamin, and then he got one back 2-1, and then I won to 3-1, and then he came storming home to win, having a summer championship. So we're at 3-all. So I had 20 shots in the bunker down there at Lee and Gather Golf Course. Beautiful courses across Gippsland. Those of you in Melbourne that want to travel, get to Gippsland. Everyone goes to Mornington Peninsula, the Bellarine Peninsula, but Stoney, I tell you, Gippsland, Lee and Gather, Corumburra, Inverloch, Yarram, just extraordinary places. Wonthaggi, food's magnificent, fresh air, plenty of golf courses, and plenty of things for the kids to do as well. And yeah, summertime, school holidays, good way to de-stress. And I don't play golf for golf, Stoney. I just go for the walk and the beautiful countryside, and hang out with some kangaroos, koalas. There's a bunyip there or two.
The viewers that know Michael Gallus, who started this show before I took over, and one day I'll hand it back to Michael when he's got some time in his hands. But just the Christmas break and 2022, Michael, what have you got planned for next year? Anything exciting? I was obviously, apart from the national championships, the Pakistani national champs. What's on for Michael Gallus?
January, February, we're training and coaching the New Zealand women's team with the NFC championship. Looking forward to that. Another very busy year of teaching. Hopefully, the Year 9 program at Gilson College is an amazing outdoor education program where kids go and they train them and teach them in relation to survival skills of, carrying everything on your back and learning how to cook with a little stove, and then building up from a 2-day camp in term 1 to a 4-day camp, term 2, 6-day camp, term 3, and then the 9-day camp, which I just came back from across the Bogon High Plains. Just extraordinary up there, amazing country. Again, you're looking to go somewhere a little bit different in Victoria. We saw the Brumbies up there, the horses up there, Stoney, wild horses, and that's extraordinary. It's very rare for you to be able to see them and see them in their natural habitat, and plenty of Australian wildlife, and the opportunity to take kids out of their natural environment in a team. Like I had a group of 8 kids with me, and we bushwalked 4 hours a day across. We bushwalked a total of 40 Ks in the 9 days. The top group did 100 Ks. They were bushwalking 12 hours a day and absolutely loved it. And you learn, it's not about bushwalking. I mean, that's fantastic, but you're developing resilience, you're developing determination, you're challenging the kids to rely on their intestinal fortitude to get to places and to really challenge themselves in that environment. So later on in life, when they come across challenging times, they look back what they did at Year 9 at that camp, and that ability to bushwalk with everything on their back, huge backpacks that we carry around, that that allows them to overcome challenges in life because they had that opportunity. And hats off to a man called Phil Goltz, runs the program across the year and develops them, and then they go on to another program in Year 10 where they can go sailing or kayaking or bushwalking and rock climbing in Tasmania, Stoney, a beautiful part of the world. And I'm really looking forward to being involved in that program at Gilson College next year. Year 7 coordinator again, and maths and English teacher, and really enjoy the opportunity to inspire the kids to do their best, and that's what life's all about. So get me busy all year, and then back to Pakistan December, hopefully, with all going well.
Yeah, there's one thing that I got out of that, Michael, for me, and so the greatest lesson in life is the connectiveness of the people, of the kids, right? Being able to communicate with each other, build, as you said, resilience, but also come together, learn about other people's personalities, where they're from. And for me, the ability to be able are to connect with other kids and other people, parents, adults, whatever, at every level, those sort of camps create that because they're in a team environment. They're doing it hard. They're all doing it the same. So they find out about each other and they come back better people. I think it's a great thing. Michael Gallus, the Christmas special, A1TV, the Mark Show, or the Michael and Mark Show. Thanks for joining me on the show. And here's the 2022 to you and the family. AFL Pakistan, footy for all. And thanks, Michael.
No, my pleasure. Merry Christmas to all, and look forward to being on your show again, Mark. And big thank you to you for taking it on board and having some amazing guests and sharing your story as well. And yeah, here's hoping 2022 is a lot better than 2021.
Thanks, Mick.